Hi, and welcome to Sim Civilization, a history legacy challenge where we start at the dawn of prehistory and work our way to the modern world. Now, I have made this challenge up myself, so we're not following any existing rules, but if you'd like to see some history, some Sims, and a lot of historical inaccuracy, then this is probably the gameplay for you. Come join us. Susu! With the issue of being fully transparent, I have lost some footage. Unfortunately, OBS has been doing some very weird things at the moment. So I have had to take about 25 minutes of pretty corrupted footage and cut it down to about a 2-minute montage just to bring you up to speed with what was lost, as it was pretty crucial to plot lines. But the rest of the video works perfectly and runs like a dream. So if you'll bear with my 2-minute montage, that should bring us all up to speed and then we can get back to our normal gameplay. Thank you. So here we are. Now, just to catch you up to speed, Drogar has cheated on Odd and his other mistress with Luna, Odd's tribe mate. So he has come over here, they have been making out, they had a rundeverous whoohoo, which has led to the pregnancy of Luna. Now this one has gone over very poorly with Odd, because when Drogar went back to the lot, he found Odd very upset, very angry, and it ended up ending their marriage. So they've only been married probably 3 days, so it didn't last very long. She was mostly okay with it. I think she didn't like him that much. I think the cheating really bothered her. So he ended up inviting Luna over, where he very abruptly proposed in front of his 2 ex-wives to his new mistress, and she was very excited. She said yes, she was ecstatic. Now, I skipped the wedding party as it was a second marriage and he had made a lot of enemies in the process. So just to keep her feelings and drama away, I skipped initially the second wedding, but she has moved in, she is pregnant. They had another little post-marriage woohoo, and now that is where we're up to speed. So thank you so much for watching. You should be caught up now. This is just the family tree. So Drogar has now lost both his parents. If you remember Satil, the baby mama with the drama, she has passed away. So she got us to meet her 2 grandbabies, which was important, but she is the first of our elder Sims to die. Bam Bam died, but again, that was due to starvation and murder, so I don't think it counts. So we have lost Satil, which is pretty sad, and now Drogar is an orphan. Now, in some exciting new news, we have a new character on the lot. This is Tetra. Tetra is new. She has wandered into the lot. She's wandered into our area. I did some research. I was Googling, I was like, what would have been the survival rates of prehistoric humans who had wandered away from tribes and who were systematically living alone? And it would have been pretty low. All the research said that we were so primarily needed to need each other that our ability for socialization was fundamentally the thing that kept us alive. We were such a pack animal that our survival really hinged on community. So I think despite the fact that she is alone, she needs to start making friends instantly. But it did get me thinking, why was she alone? And I started doing research into what would lead to group outcasting in tribes. And essentially what they said is that before jail, before corporal punishment, before a lot of things that we know as consequence for poor behavior, it would have been ostracization and outcasting, which would have led to most humans being banished from their tribes. And that would have essentially been a death sentence to them. And I kind of like with how dramatic our Sims world is and how naughty our Sims are and how poor behaved they are, the concept that all these new people that end up on our lots, because we end up with a lot of new people, we need people to mate with, that they've all been kicked off their home tribes for bad behavior. And that's why maybe they're so poorly behaved in our world, that maybe these are the leftover Sims who are so poorly behaved that their tribe said, no, we can't fix you, we can't change you, we are now ostracizing you and banishing you from the tribe. And now they've all wound up here, and our Sims are either gullible or maybe equally a little bit naughty, and they've taken all these people in. But the biggest thing she can do right now, Tetra, our new character, secure food and make friends. So Goat's come over. Goat is now an adult, and I would say he is the handsomest of all our Sims characters on the lot at the moment. So he's come over, he's met Tetra, they are getting to know each other. He seems to really like her, he thinks she's really cool. He hasn't picked up that she's super problematic yet, so I think that's probably for the best. But they seem to get along really well. Hopefully this could lead to a nice marriage. But we're back on the home lot. I can't imagine how awkward this dinner would be. This would be probably my worst nightmare, sitting in between my sibling, their ex-wife or husband, and their ex-baby mama, and they're all not talking, and they're just eating in silence, and everyone's uncomfortable. Like, could you imagine how awkward that situation would be, just sitting there looking at everyone, knowing everyone hates each other? But it's nighttime. I'm gonna put the group to bed. I also think the weather's turning. It's summer, but we've been having a lot of weird seasonal hail. The babies are being pelted by hail. Like, that is golf ball size hail, and these poor children, I guess that's why they're so tough, or emotionally damaged, one would say, but they're They're good. Now, here's where we're all waiting for. How are the other women going to accept Luna in the tribe? And they don't. You have to remember, Opal's been betrayed. Opal was the sister wife of Bam Bam, Drogar's father. And she was pretty happy in the polygamy relationship until essentially she really got her heart broken, which led to her actually starving and withholding food from Bam Bam and killing him. She essentially murdered her ex-husband. And then she fell in love with his son, his barely legal 18-year-old son, and they procured a child together, and they were together until the son also betrayed her by marrying Odd, and she was almost okay with that. You know, she had been polygamous before. But now he's betrayed her again. He's brought Luna on the lot, and now she's had her heart broken again. So she's actually a frail old woman attacking this young woman. She's like, I don't care if you're pregnant. I don't care who you think you are. If you think you're the head wife, the boss of this tribe, the owner of this lot, think again. So she's establishing dominance pretty quickly, that despite the fact that this newcomer is the new head wife, that she is not the boss. So that went pretty good for Opal, strong leading female and very physically strong elder. But here's Odd. Here's the problem. Odd is a nice sim. She gets her heart broken easily. So she's not over here being aggressive. She's over here saying, I've known you since birth. We've been tribe mates forever. I trusted you. You come and steal my husband. We have a child together. You could have dated anyone and you stole my husband. And the thing with these two is that Odd is a good vegetarian. She's a very sensitive soul. She's a very nice soul. Luna, on the other hand, is pretty mean-spirited and direct. So she's come over here and she's just mocking Odd. She's telling Odd she doesn't really essentially care about feelings, and that if her husband wanted her, then he would have stayed with her. And just being downright cruel. So it's kind of led to the two girls really, really fighting each other and fundamentally hating each other, which is pretty sad for everyone. But it makes the lot very dramatic. You now have 3 women on this lot who actually openly, hostilely hate each other. And I don't know what that's going to do for the children. Like, could you imagine 3 sister wives or polygamy mommies all in the lot? And she's now declared enemies with Luna. She's now saying, you are my enemy. Stay as far away from possible. And Luna's hurt. Like, even though Luna's in the wrong, she's like, how dare you declare me your nemesis? Your husband chose me. He don't want you. But you know who does want someone? It's Tora. Tora is now proposing to Cleo, which I think we all knew was going to happen. The Goths always end up having the least dramatic household. Like, they start drama, they don't become the drama. So they are now engaged, and he is now about to throw a wedding party. Now, I would like to start normalizing the concept of wedding parties and tribal traditions around marriage. I think I'd eventually like to start also in things like bachelor parties and bachelorette parties and like dinners before, so the families can meet, and really pad out weddings. So weddings aren't just so cut and dry, invite everyone over, get married. I'd like to add tribal tradition. I think obviously that will evolve and that will change over generations depending on how the game evolves and progresses. But for now, I think just having the entire tribe together in one place getting ready for a wedding would be perfect. Now, if you can see here, Renee and Pebbles in the background, they have aged up into elders. We now have some elder sims, which I think is very exciting. But the party is starting now, which is really cool. Oh no, Tetra. Oh, God, Tetra's got a thing for Tora, which could be really problematic considering he's minutes away from getting married. What is he doing? She's going up and she's going to go chat to Pebbles. Oh no, Tetra, he's a married man. That is the correct behavior. Do not accept flowers in front of your wife. Could you imagine if Tetra, 2 minutes in this game, blew up a 40-year marriage? And he's shaming her. He's kind of telling her, he's like, no, that is not appropriate, Tetra. I don't know you. My wife is here there. I am the father of the groom. He's like, you come to me on my son's wedding and ask me to be in a relationship. Looks like Tora is chatting with Cleo. She's giving him some advice about the wedding. She's like, I'm married too. Here's tips for successful marriage. Now, I completely must have missed this while I was playing because I don't remember this at all. But there are some steamy lesbian makeout sessions going on right now. If you look, Odd, who's just been broken up with, is has to be having some very, very strong makeup kiss with Tetra. So the bisexual energy is intensifying on this game really strongly, but it looks like those two have the hots for each other a little bit. Very interesting. But besides that, I think it's time we get the two in the background, Cleo and Tora, married. Like, again, I think the best thing we do is start thinking about Gen 4. Oh, but she's angry at him. This could be bad. They need to sort this out before the wedding. They can't hate each other before the wedding. That would be terrible. All right, we're getting everyone into the field. Eventually, I'd like to build a wedding venue. I think I'd like to have like a prehistoric wedding venue, something that's kind of historical, something that's so they can go, maybe have fire pits and stuff. Eventually, have like ceremonial fires and ceremonial meals and ceremonial areas for weddings. But right now, because I think we're still so early in civilization, I don't mind that they're just building up the concept of going and having these tribal marriages in front of their family. So they're about to have a very wonderful wedding in front of, if you look at it, it's cut off now, but they're in front of the Sphinx and the pyramid. What a beautiful place to get married. Like, that is gorgeous. And they seem really happy. Everyone's really happy for them. There's no drama. There's no baby mamas. There's no second baby mamas. There's no ex-wives. So I think this is fundamentally a really nice, easy wedding. Now, I did something a little saucy. And I don't know if I'll keep this as a tribal tradition, but I wanted them to just get down to business ASAP. I was like, all right, you're married. It's time for you to woohoo and get a child going. Like, I was all gung-ho. I want Generation 4 Goths to happen. Because as you may know, I love the Goths. I don't know if they're my favorite family. I feel like the Caps are probably the most dramatic. I feel like they bring the most drama, but I love the Goths. And so I wanted them to woohoo right away, which is a little awkward, like in front of your family, in front of your friends, at your own wedding party, get in a tent and do the deed in front of your parents. Little weird. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in as some sort of fertility ceremony or if this is just them getting frisky. I haven't decided the full concept of how marriage will play out and how fertility rituals would play out. That's stuff I like to think about, but they're about to get ready to do some woohooing, and we are going to have baby number 4, or generation 4. It's going to be generation 4. This will be baby number, it'll be baby number 4. Generation 4 is booming. We'll have 4 babies soon, which I think is really exciting. So they're officially pregnant, which I think the fertility marriage ceremony worked. But now back to the wedding party. They're all just kind of hanging out. I love this game, but what's going on here? Okay, it looks like Ivor's husband Shaunar has a thing for Labubu, and I think Labubu likes him back. It looks like she finds him very, very attractive. To be fair, this is the first man she's ever met that she's not related to, but she is very attracted to Shaunar, which could be very awkward considering her cousin is married to him and has his child. But they're just chatting. I think they're kind of also a little gossipy, if one will. Like, they're having a good laugh, they're having a good joke. They get along really, really well. He definitely seems to like her. I think he's a more flirty sim. I kind of like to think she's trying to get the gossip on the other half of the family, because even though they kind of get along, there's so much family drama. So she's like, what does my cousin say about me? What do my aunts say about me? Just really get the dirt on the family. But they seem to be going well. Now, it is later that night. Everyone's gone home. But we have a very morning sick sim. It looks like it's 3 in the morning, but she is very, very sick. She's very hungry, which I think are all good signs of pregnancy. Again, we heard the woohoo song, so we know that she is pregnant. But if we had any doubts, this is definitely going to confirm it. I was thinking they're so much luckier than the first Sims. The first Sims had to just throw up on the ground whenever they were sick. Now they have a designated place to go throw up, which is pretty cool for them. I think that's really good. So she's definitely morning sick, definitely pregnant. But let's get her some food, because I think the best thing we could get her right now is to get her some food. Now, we are running really low on food. She's only got grapes and lemon, which is kind of an odd combination to have roasted over a fire pit. I think today what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through everyone's inventory and find out who's running low on fish or who doesn't have any fish, and send out a hunting party. What's really cool is that before we started farming, everything was hunting, which was really fun for community bonding. I think it was a great representation of the time and how much time we would have spent collecting food. It did make for a little bit of boring gameplay, but it was just so crucial. But now that we've got the farm, a lot of time is spent on the farm. So the hunting aspects is really minimized now that they've developed agriculture. But they are running low on fish, and so I do think it's time to send a few people out in a little hunting party and build up some protein, especially if we have pregnant people in the lot. I just think having really protein-dense meals for the pregnant people would be good. She's getting the morning fire going. I love these fire pits. I think it adds so much light, because when it's dark at night or really early mornings, it can make the game really dark. Now, she looks very salty. I kind of like to think she's scheming against her cousin. She's kind of attracted to her cousin's husband, and she's like, how do I get rid of this woman? Like, what do I do? Do I like him? Do I not? Do I hate Ivor now? Do I not? So she's kind of scheming away, but she's having her breakfast, and everyone's about to get ready into the morning chores. Like, that is such a crucial part of this game, is that there isn't jobs. So chores make up most of the time that they would be doing jobs. And from a gameplay aspect, I actually prefer that. I think when they are going off to work and I don't see them again for 8 hours, I can sometimes get a little bored. So having them at home doing chores actually is my favorite type of gameplay. Now, he is actually planting, I think it's a Kona bean. And what I love is these are actually pretty much just coffee beans. And if you eat them, it gives you the same stinky coffee breath and jitters. And then you get really high energy and you get all the perks of coffee. And then you also still get the caffeine crash afterwards if you're not constantly eating the beans. So I really like that Sims have a proto coffee that before the morning latte was a thing, people would actually just eat the coffee beans for energy. And I love that part of their diet is that they have a morning coffee. I love that there's little things in their tribe that kind of reflect what will become the modern world one day. So he is planting plenty of coffee beans. My eventual goal is to get this entire field filled to the max with plants and then expand further on the property into, like I said, orchards, and eventually they will have animal agriculture. We're not that far in civilization yet, but soon enough, one day, they'll have animal agriculture. So eventually put up farm animals, get some horses for transportation, build out some orchards. But what's the main thing right now is getting the fishing going. So both these girls had really low inventories when it came to protein. Labubu was almost out. Cleo had nothing. So the main part I thought was getting them out so they can go get some food. So they're fishing on the banks. And what I like, if you see what they're kind of pulling out of the water, it's actually quite nasty looking. Like they're pulling a lot of sea sludge out in this area. It's not very appeasing. And same with jellyfish, a lot of sea sludge and jellyfish. But what I like is that I think it gives it this really cool aspect that they're not picky. Like instead of being like, oh, they only eat one type of meat. Like I feel like in the future when people eat, we mostly what, salmon and halibut. But I love that, it's the Neolithic time. They'll eat pretty much everything. Maybe they're not excited, but they'll eat it. And so I really like that. And if you notice, it's raining. And it got me thinking, actually, when there's cave sims and no agriculture, the rain is just quite annoying. Like they can't go in the house, they get sick, they get cold, they get negative moodlets. Like the rain is quite a negative aspect of their lives. But when there's agriculture, it's such a good thing because it means the crops are watered. Like in summer, when there's no rain, you have to spend 8-9 hours a day watering the crops so they get so dry. And if you don't want your plants to dry, you have to water them, where the rain is really good. Now, we have decided, cheeky, to visit our cousin's house. We're mostly here not to see our cousin or our lovely, it's not a niece, but some relative. We are here to talk to her father. Now, I kind of view Labubu as that girl that, your boyfriend says, don't worry about her. She's my friend. There's nothing going on here. But she's definitely got some feelings for him. So she's over here. She's just kind of doing anything friendly. They're gossiping. They're hanging out. She's not doing anything wildly appropriate yet. But she's definitely taken an interest in Strong-Arm, which I think could be really bad for the tribe dynamic. Like, there's already so much hatred between the Lotharios, the Caps at the moment, and the Goths. So I don't know if adding more hate is probably the answer. But we'll see. She's chatting with him. He's kind of telling her, oh, I'm a fisherman. I don't really have any jobs. I don't do any trades. But now she's flirting. And it's upsetting the baby and the wife equally. Oh, the baby's upset. And now Ivor is crying. Oh no, this is so bad. Labubu just shameless. But what's going on? She's trying to save her marriage and go to her husband and say, I care about you too. I've got you flowers. And he's like, I don't actually care, Labubu. That is so heartbreaking. But it's raining really heavily, so let's get Cleo home soon because she is pretty pregnant. So I don't think being down a crocodile infested lake is good while pregnant. But she's now showing, which is so exciting. So we now have a sim who's officially showing, and so we can start getting ready for another baby. So we'll probably have to buy a cradle soon. But what are they doing? They're all down here. It looks like Pebbles got struck by lightning while we were away. Which, poor Pebbles, that cannot be good for him. He's like an elder. It's got to be so terrible for his heart. But they're all having a dinner, and you can see they're definitely a little bit more full than last time. They've got the mandrake roots. They've got a lot of fish, so it's pretty exciting. Now, there is a party for Tora, so we're going to send Tora to the party. We don't usually go to that many parties, but I think it'll be fun to break things up. Oh, but it's also a zombie night. I forgot it's a full moon, so we need to get everyone in their tents, especially the pregnant women. So we'll get everyone in their tents. We'll send Tora to the party. And good, so Tora's here. I don't really see anyone. It seems like it's a pretty empty party. Like apparently we're supposed to be, we'll light a fire, get the party mood going, but where is everyone? Oh, it looks like they're down there. Oh no, there's zombies. Oh no, not Drogar and Goat. If I had to deal with the zombie apocalypse right now, I'd be so sad. And are they running zombies? That is actually my nightmare. Oh god. I just don't think I have it in me to deal with the zombie apocalypse right now. There is so much going on, and these are two main characters. Oh, that is terrifying. Okay, let's Tora out of here as fast as possible. Tora's gonna run away as fast as possible. Running zombies, nightmare fuel, why Sims 3? No chill. Anyways, the next day, I don't know what happened to my cousins. We'll have to check on them in the next episode. But right now, everyone seems to be okay on this lot. So it looks like Labubu has invited Stronarm over, and she is like, "Oh, welcome to my home lot. This is good to see you." She's playing it really casual. She isn't flirting. She isn't rizzing. She isn't trying to kiss him. She's just been being his best girlfriend. She is like his best girlfriend. But she's gonna invite him to do some pillow fighting and she maybe share some secrets, I'd say. But they're building up the relationship the old-fashioned way. They've become friends. He really likes her. She's she hasn't done anything too inappropriate besides the flirting. So it's kind of, we'll see where this relationship goes. I definitely think she likes him. I think she's scheming. She comes off as a bit of a schemer. There's just something about her. I find her very schemey, and I think she's got that personality that isn't afraid. Now, what is she doing? She's gonna ask him to break up with his wife. Of course she is. She's like, as your friend, you need to break up with this girl. She's no good. I know her. She's my cousin. And he agrees. He's like, "You're right. I actually only married her to impress her brother because he was doing a social alliance with me. I'm pretty much done with her." And so does that mean, I think that means we are complete enemies now. So if we just look, yep, she is now our enemy. So many enemies in this game. But she's gonna kiss him. She's gonna make her moment. He's single. Maybe he's ready to mingle. And then he's actually very upset with this. He told her, no. I 100% am not in the mood. I've literally just got a divorce. That is so inappropriate. He's actually going home. He's so upset with us right now. So that's pretty sad. But speaking of pretty sad, we now have Renee, and Renee has passed away. She is our second elder. All the wives are passing away. Bam Bam passed away, but he was murdered. She, on the other hand, she's just died, and so we're losing generation 2. This is so sad. It feels like it's gone so fast, but I started this series well over a year ago, so it also feels like it's going so slow. So we've just lost another member of Gen 2. Slowly they're all becoming elders and they're all passing away. It is her time, I suppose. To die in a bathroom though, that's a bit grim. She pulled an Elvis, really. Kind of sad, but it's so sad. She's pleading for her life. Most elders just go gracefully. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. I'm going to call it here. I upload videos fortnightly every Friday. So if you like a little bit of chaotic gameplay and you enjoyed what you saw today, please join us. Give us a like and follow and subscribe. Susu!